What the fuck is going on here? But I accept it, I'm a man. I don't make boss to box Daniel Dubois. I would box that motherfucker's ears off. He wouldn't land the glove on me. It'd be one-sided beatdown. You little shithouse. You little shitbag. Talking shite, I'm afraid you'll put me fist right for this idea, you little sausage.
Tyson didn't just throw a few jabs at Dubois, he completely dismantled him, labeling him as overrated and mocking his defeat to a much smaller opponent. This wasn't playful trash talk, it was raw frustration from someone tired of the manufactured buzz. Dubois had the nerve to take aim at Usyk, but Fury made it crystal clear why Dubois isn't built for that elite stage. The heavyweight champion made his stance known, and just when it seemed like he was finished, he fired back even harder.
He's a great fighter? Hell no, I don't think he's a great fighter. I think he's a useless bum. And then he fought a boxer half of his weight, and a foot shorter than him, and got outboxed.
Here's where it gets interesting. Fury still holds respect for Usyk. While Dubois comes off as brash and inexperienced, Fury subtly points to Usyk as the real challenge worth chasing. He questions some of the judging in recent fights, but makes it clear, if there's anyone he'd consider stepping back in the ring for, it's Usyk. And why not? Even at 38, Usyk's mastery in the ring sends a message to the division. That's a tier Dubois hasn't come close to reaching.
It could have been me, it could have been you, could have been anybody. In the heavyweight division, it's what happens.
After Fury dismissed Dubois as a bum, Chisora didn't disagree. He practically validated it. Dubois, in their eyes, isn't made for the brutal intensity top-level boxing demands. Usyk thrives in pressure. Dubois can't even handle the atmosphere. This isn't just a match for the brave. It's for those wired differently. If Dubois walks in relying only on raw power, Usyk will pull him into unfamiliar waters and sink him. And if Dubois thought Usyk's mindset was tough to overcome, he hasn't even faced the nightmare of trying to track down those unpredictable, lightning-fast feet that leave power punchers looking completely lost.
Difficult, but Usyk is always using movement. So you come forward and you go sideways and he's still in the middle of the ring. You won't go back to the ropes. He'll just go left, right, moving sideways, basically.
He seems really intelligent.
And that's the real nightmare no one likes to mention. Usyk's footwork is wicked. You don't just try to catch him. You end up chasing shadows. While Dubois is throwing haymakers at empty air, Usyk is gliding around him like a technician putting on a clinic. Shifting side to side right in front of you, yet never getting touched. That's not just movement. That's pure embarrassment. Dubois may pack power, but if he can't trap Usyk, the fight ends before it even begins.
Whatever happens, Wembley is going to be amazing. Safe money is on Oleksandr Usyk. Yeah. So Daniel has to come in there and do something amazing. Do you understand? He has to find something amazing and do it for him to win. Yep. But he will not win on points. He will win by a knock.
This is where the hype runs headfirst into reality. Duke McKenzie does give Dubois some credit, acknowledging that he's matured, become more calculated, and selects his punches with more precision. But then comes the cold truth. If it wasn't Usyk, that single phrase strips away all the praise. Because no matter how far Dubois has come, it's not far enough when the opponent is Oleksandr Usyk, the man who picked apart Joshua not once, but twice, and left Chisora completely puzzled. Dubois might be better now, but better doesn't mean ready. It's like upgrading a toy gun and expecting to take down a fighter jet. Duke's being respectful, but he sees what everyone sees. Against most heavyweights, Dubois might hold his own. Against Usyk, he's stepping into a masterclass. The skill gap remains wide, and no amount of progress is closing that anytime soon. And if that wasn't clear enough, Duke made it even more obvious in his next analysis.
If he was fighting anybody else other than Oleksandr Usyk, I would pick him to win. But what they're convinced...
You think he is number 2 heavyweight in the world right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is where Duke McKenzie completely dismantles the illusion. Some fans claim Usyk is slowing with age, that time is catching up. But Duke isn't falling for that narrative. He cuts through the noise and tells it straight. Usyk isn't fading, he's evolving. Every time Dubois levels up, Usyk takes it a step further. And that's the harsh truth Dubois' team keeps brushing aside. They're getting ready for a version of Usyk that no longer exists. One who stands still, who's lost a step. But that version was never real. Usyk adapts mid-fight, he reads opponents like books, and he always finds the path to victory. No form of Dubois is enough to overcome that. Because Usyk doesn't fold under pressure, he thrives in it. This isn't just a tough matchup. It's a complete mismatch in terms of ring IQ, experience, and championship pedigree. And if Dubois walks in thinking he's figured Usyk out, he's heading straight into the jaws of a fighter who may still be getting better. But just when things seemed one-sided, Johnny Nelson added fuel to the fire by questioning whether Usyk even has the hunger left to dominate.
What Dubois' team are clearly overlooking is the fact that if Dubois raises his game, then Usyk will raise his game. Usyk isn't shot, he's not over the hill. He's got plenty of miles left on the clock, I believe. And I think if whatever Daniel Dubois brings to this fight, Usyk will...
Johnny Nelson's opinion here feels more like shock bait than serious analysis, because suggesting Usyk's already halfway out of the sport borders on fantasy. This is the same man who went 12 hard rounds twice with Anthony Joshua and walked away grinning. That's not a fighter who's burned out. That's someone fully dialed in. Usyk doesn't need to shout or show off to prove his hunger. His calm speaks louder than Dubois' bravado ever could. Nelson might sense a lack of fire, but in reality, it's more likely Dubois is hoping that's true, because that's his only prayer. Usyk's quiet demeanor isn't disinterest, it's surgical focus. Meanwhile, it's Dubois who's shown signs of breaking under pressure, fading when things get tough. Usyk doesn't owe anyone anything at this point, yet he still performs like he's chasing something. That's what makes him so terrifying. A champion who's already achieved it all, yet still demands more from himself. And right on cue, Dubois started talking again, and reminded everyone he's still more talk than threat.
He's Usyk talking like that. He's got 1 foot out already. If he's talking like that, that means, as far as I'm concerned, I sense his appetite is slipping away. He's very professional, gets the job done, knows what he has to do in the ring and in training. But to me, he's now 1 foot out.
Dubois is back on his usual tough guy act, talking about chaos and destruction like that's going to intimidate someone like Usyk. But let's be real. Usyk has been through far darker battles against far more dangerous opponents. This isn't some fringe contender he's up against. This is a former undisputed cruiserweight champion and the reigning unified heavyweight force. You don't rattle Usyk with threats or wild punches. It simply doesn't work. He's already gone toe-to-toe with fighters who hit harder, move smarter, and have more ring wisdom. And every time, he's walked through the storm unscathed. Dubois likes to speak about being ruthless, but without a plan, ruthlessness turns into panic. Usyk won't be shaken. He'll stay calm, avoid the damage, and make Dubois look out of place. Dubois keeps trying to sell the same story, but Usyk's already read the script and rewritten the ending. If Dubois brings blind aggression, Usyk will put it out with ice-cold precision.
I'm gonna get under this game with these punches, with these bombs I'm gonna be throwing, so yeah.
Frank Warren is doing what promoters do best, packaging belief as strategy. He talks about Dubois' mental growth and the fact that he's already shared a ring with Usyk. But let's not twist the past. Dubois didn't just lose, he unraveled, both mentally and physically. That wasn't experience gained. It was a collapse under pressure. All this talk of revenge might sound powerful, but revenge only means something if the playing field has changed, and it hasn't. Dubois may be more composed now, sure, but calmness doesn't land punches, and confidence doesn't dodge incoming fire. Warren says he believes in him, but even that feels like part of the sales pitch, not genuine conviction. Let's not forget, Usyk is still the same technician who disrupted Joshua's flow and turned him into a frustrated brawler. And now Dubois believes he'll suddenly solve that puzzle in a rematch? Let's be honest, no amount of mental growth bridges the gap in skill, footwork, and championship experience. This whole revenge narrative feels less like a comeback and more like recycled hope. Warren's playing the optimism card, but that's a dangerous gamble when you're matching up against someone as precise and cerebral as Usyk. Then came Peter Fury, trying to inject logic into the chaos. But even he couldn't ignore the glaring truth staring back from across the ring.